Professor Zixthala's crystalline form shimmered with academic excitement as she addressed her xenobiology class aboard the prestigious Galactic University station. Her 6 eyes focused on the holographic display showing a vibrant red sphere with a waxy surface. "Students," she began, her voice harmonizing through the universal translator, "today we examine one of the most lethal biological weapons ever discovered in our galaxy's catalog of dangerous flora. The diverse assembly of alien students, Rigelians with their metallic exoskeletons, gaseous nebulans floating in containment suits, and crystalline Zephyrite, leaned forward with morbid fascination. In the back corner, largely unnoticed, sat Marcus Chen, the only human in the advanced xenobiology program. This specimen," Professor Zixthala continued, manipulating the hologram to show cross-sections, "originates from the death world designated as Earth in the Sol system. The inhabitants of this planet are known for their remarkable resilience, but even they have classified this particular organism as extremely hazardous." Marcus paused mid-bite, apple juice trickling down his chin. He glanced at the hologram, then at his Granny Smith apple, then back at the display. A slow grin spread across his face. "The locals call it Malus domestica, but galactic xenobiologists have designated it the Terra death fruit," the professor explained. "Observe its insidious design, a sweet, enticing exterior that masks its deadly interior." Student Clixnora, a Rigelian, raised one of her 4 arms. "Professor, what makes this organism so dangerous?" "Excellent question," Zixthala replied, her form brightening. "The death fruit contains numerous toxic compounds. First, there are the seeds, hard bitter capsules containing amygdalin which releases hydrogen cyanide when metabolized. A handful of these seeds could theoretically kill most known sentient species." Marcus crunched thoughtfully on his apple, making sure to avoid the seeds as his mother had taught him decades ago. Around him, several students recoiled in horror. "But that's merely the beginning," the professor continued. "The fruit's flesh contains various acids that can corrode digestive systems, and trace amounts of formaldehyde, a chemical so toxic that many civilizations use it to preserve the dead." A Nebulan student's gaseous form swirled anxiously. "How do the Terrans protect themselves from such a weapon?" "They don't," Zixthala said grimly. "Archaeological evidence suggests they've been consuming these death fruits for millennia. We theorize this explains their planet's reputation as a death world. Constant exposure to such toxins has rendered the population extraordinarily hardy. It's likely a form of biological warfare preparation." Marcus nearly choked on his apple, trying not to laugh. He remembered his grandmother's orchard, the way she'd pack his lunch with sliced apples and a note saying, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." If only she could see this. "The most terrifying aspect," the professor continued, "is how the Terrans have weaponized this organism. They've cultivated thousands of varieties, some green, some yellow, some deep red, each presumably with different toxicity levels. Intelligence reports suggest they force-feed these fruits to their young as a form of biological conditioning." The class murmured in horrified fascination. Marcus remembered applesauce, apple pie, apple juice boxes, and his elementary school lunch. His shoulders shook with suppressed laughter. "Furthermore," Zixthala's voice dropped to an ominous whisper, "Terrans have been observed consuming the death fruit raw, unprocessed, often multiple specimens per day. Some even consume the skin, which contains concentrated pesticides and waxy preservatives." Student Yextel's tentacles writhed nervously. "Professor, what would happen if someone accidentally consumed one of these death fruits?" "Immediate gastrointestinal distress followed by systemic poisoning," the professor replied. "The acids would begin dissolving the stomach lining, while the toxic compounds entered the bloodstream. Most species would experience rapid organ failure within hours." Marcus finished his apple and quietly pulled out a second one from his backpack. The crisp sound of his teeth breaking through the skin echoed in the silent classroom. Every head in the room turned toward him. The professor's 6 eyes widened in horror as she registered what she was seeing. "Mr. Chen," she stammered, What are you doing?" Marcus looked up innocently, apple halfway to his mouth for another bite. "Having a snack? Sorry, I didn't eat breakfast this morning." The classroom erupted into chaos. Several students evacuated their seating areas. The Nebulan began cycling through emergency purification filters. Clixnora was frantically accessing medical databases. "Mr. Chen?" Sixthala's form was pulsing with alarm. You need immediate medical attention. How many of those death fruits have you consumed? Marcus considered this seriously. Well, I had apple slices with breakfast yesterday, apple juice with lunch, and I'm working on my second one now. Oh, and I probably ate about 6 of them this week. Maybe more, I wasn't really counting. The professor's crystalline structure began to crack from stress. Security! Medical emergency. We need a hazmat team. Wait, Marcus said, standing up with his hands raised. I think there's been a misunderstanding here. He walked to the front of the class, taking another deliberate bite of his apple. This is just an apple. Where I come from, we eat these all the time. They're actually good for you. The silence that followed was deafening. The seeds can be mildly toxic in large quantities, sure, Marcus continued. But the fruit itself? It's basically sugar, water, fiber, and vitamins. We give them to children as healthy snacks. Professor Zixathala's academic worldview crumbled as she processed this information. But the toxicity reports. The Death World classification. Yeah, Earth's a bit rough, Marcus admitted with a shrug, but apples? They're about as dangerous as... He paused, looking around the room of terrified alien faces. Well, I guess that depends on your perspective. He took another bite, and the crunch echoed through the stunned silence. So, Marcus said cheerfully, what's next on the syllabus? Please tell me it's not about how we weaponized wheat or something. The professor's form flickered weakly. She had a feeling this was going to be a very long semester.